Adding navigation throughout your Notion pages is an easy way to improve usability and efficiency. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 game-changing navigation tips. If you're new here, I'm Andy, a Notion ambassador and consultant. I help small business owners to be more effective using tools like Notion. I'll drop timestamps to each tip into the description below so you can jump to the part that you need, and I'll also include a bonus tip at the end. But other than that, let's get into it. To explain each of these tips, I'm going to use my SOP headquarters template, and if you're interested in grabbing this, I'll drop a link down into the description below. This is the home page of my SOP headquarters, and on the left hand side I've got a synced block with loads of navigation, and I'll show you how to create one of these synced blocks in one of the upcoming tips. But this is the home page, and as we navigate through each of these different pages, we want to be able to get back to the home, which you can see here. So that's using a link, which I'll also show you in a tick. But first up, we can use buttons. So how do we do it? First, press / and then button, and then we just go and click on button. And we want to give this a name, so let's call it the same. So home, and underneath, when you click the button, what does it need to do? And it needs to open the home page. So I'm going to click new action, and you'll see here that we've got loads of different options, but the one that we want is to open a page. So I'm going to click on this one. Then underneath, we need to actually decide what page we want to open. And we can do this in a couple of different ways. Firstly, just click on the drop down, and you can just go and see a whole list of different pages throughout my workspace, and you can just go and pick the one that you need to navigate to. Or we can paste a link to the home page in here instead. If I go back to the home page, on the top right, you can see that we've got 3 dots, and then we can click and we've got copy link. And this is going to copy a link to this page. So I'm just going to press on this one, and it now says copied link to clipboard. We can also do this using our keyboard. So I can just press Command on my keyboard and L, and it does the same thing, copied link to keyboard. So if we go back to our button here, go to settings, and instead of finding the page, I'm going to paste the link. And straight away it's found it, the SOP headquarters, so click on this one to confirm. Then we need to select how do we want to open it. Center peak is just in the middle of the page. We've also got side peak here, which pulls it out from the side, or we can go for full page. So I'm going to click on full page. Once we're done, just click on done. Great, so now let me move to a different part of the SOP template, for example, life cycle. This is loaded, and I now want to go back to the home page. So just click on home, and it takes me back to the home. You can also add an icon. So if I go to the little cog, click on the smiley face, and perhaps let's choose a house to show that it's home, and then click done. Great, and we've now got a button. Tip number 2 is to use links to navigate throughout your workspace. Back in the SOP headquarters, this is really easy to use. Let's recreate the home button here. So just press the 3 hashes to create a heading 3. Then let's type home, and this is currently not a link. So let's say we wanted to create a link back to this home page. So again, we'll copy a link to this page. So the 3 dots, copy link, and then if I double click on the text we just created and then press paste on the keyboard, it pastes the link over the top, and so this is now a link to the SOP headquarters homepage. So if I click, it won't do anything because we're currently on the same page. But for example, if I go into life cycle, we've got the link, click on home, and that then takes us back. Tip number 3 is to mention other pages, and you can do that by using the @ symbol. Back in the SOP headquarters, imagine that I was within the finance department. I've got 2 SOPs that are in draft, and I've got a couple that are in review, but they're currently active and being used. And let's imagine that SOP number 5 refers to parts of SOP number 4. We can actually put a link between the 2 to make it easy to navigate. So if I open SOP number 5, here we've got context and how does this fit? And all I want to do is go and reference that other SOP. So press the @ symbol, then type finance SOP to search for it, and we can see a bit of a list. And here I need to reference number 4. There we go, and just click on it. Now within this SOP, we've got a link to that other page, and we can quickly jump to it, and we can go back again as well. The 4th navigation tip are synced blocks, and we've already been using that in the SOP headquarters. This menu on the left hand side, you'll see that it's got an outline, and that shows that it's in a synced block. And we go and copy this throughout our workspace to create a common menu. So for example, the home link that we created earlier appears wherever we've got this synced block, and we can see it there. And if I go and delete that, now when I go back to home, that new home button has disappeared. I've also used this in templates for my various databases. For example, if I go to here, let's click the three dots and edit, and just maximize this. There's that synced block. So every time I create a new department, we've got that menu and those links automatically available in the new pages. If you do want to go and check out how to create one of these navigation bars, then do check out the card up here, which will show you step by step how to build that in your workspace. My final navigation tip is to use a breadcrumb bar. And as you get more and more pages that are layered more and more underneath each other, it can be quite confusing about what stage you're at and how to get back to where you started. But Notion has a really easy to use block which can help with this. Now it's not needed in this template, but I'll just show you as an example. So if I just press / and then bread for breadcrumb, it will go and find it and click on it. And you can see that we've now got all of the layers where this page is located. So it's underneath the video, then it's located under YouTube videos, just where I'm storing it. And we can see the whole trail, and we can jump backwards and forwards between the various layers of these pages. So that's a quick way that you can just go and add more detail. It's recreating what's at the top, but you can use that in different parts of your workspace. So for example, if you had a really long page, we could go and chuck it right down the bottom, so you could use it in different places. I mentioned earlier about a bonus tip, and for this it's about navigation but on the same page. If you've got loads and loads of content on one page, it can be difficult to find the information that you need. But Notion has this additional block that's called a table of contents, and that can help you jump to the section that you need. For example, on this page we've got various sections, and these are actually headers. So if I go to the 6 dots and go here, turn into, you can see that it's heading 2 with a tick, and we can create various types of heading. And that's what table of contents uses to know how to go and structure the navigation. Therefore, if I press / and then type TOC for table of contents and return, we've now got each of the different headings, and we can see that these are all linked. So if I click on mentions, it will jump down to mentions. If I click on here, it will jump down to the bottom. So if this had loads and loads of content, you could create a table of contents at the top, and then you'd be able to go and quickly jump to the section that you need. And this updates in real time. Therefore, for example, if I put breadcrumb bar ×2, you can see that in the navigation, it's automatically updated that link. If you use different layers of headings, for example, if links is a heading 2 rather than a heading 3, so I can go turn into, and then heading 3, it then goes and nests it underneath because it knows that there's now a hierarchy. You can also use this table of contents automatically. It just lives here on the right hand side all the time. If you don't want to use that, you can also turn it off. Just click on the 3 dots, head down to customize page, and then we want to go and turn table of contents off here, and now it's disappeared. I hope you found that video useful. If you did, please do consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. And if you want to know about how to use Notion, I've got a playlist here which has got loads more additional videos on how to use this amazing tool. But other than that, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See ya.